Hey guys, I am WilliamOfEarth, and in today's video I wanted to talk to you guys about changing habits. We all have habits in our lives that some we would like to work even harder to maintain those habits, and other habits we want to work hard to remove them from our lives. So I wanted to, in this video, just tell you guys a quick story of something that a habit that I had that I absolutely needed to rid myself of, and how I did it. And I want to tell you guys that I'm making this video not even for everybody, on the internet or just on YouTube, but really for one specific person, a personal friend of mine, because they're at a point in their life where a habitual change must absolutely happen, or else they will be prevented from living a happy and healthy lifestyle. So what my story is, and what my habitual problem was that whenever I was home alone, I broke my back playing football senior year, so I was highly immobile for an entire year. And in that time, I gained a habit of just not organizing my room, just getting it dirtier and dirtier every single day. And I don't mean just not putting things up. I mean eating in my room and not throwing away the trash, and just keeping it all in my room. And because I was there was so much effort that I had to go through to throw the trash away that it just seemed like an unnecessary hassle to have to go throw away my trash. And even now that I'm outside of that habit, or outside of that injury, and I've recovered from it, I still carried the habit along with me for a while. And so what it would be that I would just stay in my bed all day, play video games, watch TV, play on my laptop, just do whatever. And then whenever it was time to eat, I would go get my food, or it would be brought to me, and a lot of times it would be fast food. And what I would do would be that I would eat, and I would ball up all of my trash, and regardless of if there was anything left that I hadn't eaten, I would just throw it in that bag, all the wrappers and everything, and then I would throw that bag on either side of the floor beside my bed. So it would be on the left or the right. And eventually it got to the point where there was so much built up trash that I honestly could barely step off of my bed without stepping on a piece of trash, food that I had left out on the floor. And it's absolutely disgusting. It's a habit that, I'm embarrassed to tell you guys of, but I know that I've gotten over that. So I want to just be open and transparent with you guys and tell you, how serious, some of these habits can be, and how seriously you need to take them so that you can make a change. But so whenever it got to the point where I just needed to do something, was whenever I stayed with a family member for a year, right around a year after I broke my back, and I carried that uncleanliness habit along with me to their house. And it was for that year I was just so just non-caring, and I don't know how to explain it. You just don't think about it whenever it's a habit. It's not something you actively just intend to do. It's really that you don't think about what you're doing, and you just do it, and you just don't realize what's going on. Okay, so one day, I eventually actually got kicked out of that house because of my uncleanliness habit. That's how bad it was. And to be honest, that's one of the major reasons why I got kicked out of that house. It's because of how unclean I was, and how embarrassing that is to have to tell you guys. But like I said, I'm being transparent here so you guys can know, where I've been. I can tell you that what I'm telling you, it's not that I've just read some books or anything. Like, I've done this in my life, and I've figured it out. I had to do it, to survive and to improve. But how I eventually got over it was that, one day, honestly, and this is hard for me to say, but one day my mom brought food into my room, and she could not get to my bed without gagging because of how disgusting and how smelly it was in my room because of all the trash that I had left. And that just really, it allowed me to see myself through someone else's point of view, and I instantly became disgusted in myself. That night, I cleaned up every single bit of all of that trash that I had in my room, and to be honest with you, whenever I was cleaning it up, I was gagging, just smelling it and realizing what I had been doing the last several weeks of just built up trash in my room. It was just unbelievable how bad it was. But I cleaned up all of that trash, and since that day, I have figured out what my cue was to just keep building up trash. And what it was just that I was just staying in my bed all day and watching TV, and that all started because I had hurt my back, and for a year that's really the only option I had to do was just stay in my bed and not really walk around much. So once I really started, just doing other things, just started going to work out more, just get some more exercise, hang out with friends more, and really just be around girls, and because, girls are generally very clean people. I got to see the viewpoint of somebody else who would view somebody like me, who would look at my room and say, who would live in a room like this? And so who would live in a room that is just as disgusting as that was? And I looked at all of all of those viewpoints, and how other people could look at someone and view somebody who lived like that. And I just decided that it was enough, and I just wasn't going to take it anymore. And I mean, something like that, like I said, with what happened with my mom, and how she said, or just how disgusted she was at her own son, and how apparent it was that she really didn't even try to do that. It's just, it came out of her. It just really allowed me to realize what I had done. And since that has happened, I have completely just, removed that habit of just throwing away things beside my bed. And how I did it ultimately was just to, cut off the cable in my room, just take my TV out, and just leave, just go do things and feel like a human being, and don't feel like your life is tied to your room. Because really it's not. I mean, we live in this universe, we're outside, we're in infinite space. But back then, I was thinking that my room was basically the world that I was living in, and I just didn't care. So, you should look at all the habits that you have in your life and try to figure out ways, what is cueing you to make the decisions that you're making? What can you do really to go in the opposite direction? One thing that I've found is that you really can't just sit back and do nothing and expect to not live in your habit. You have to change directions and do something completely different, because your brain is just almost, it's programmed to divulge into that habit. And so it doesn't require much thinking to go back into that habit. It's easy. But if you can just change directions and do something else, your habit will be eliminated. And sometimes all it takes is just doing something for 20 minutes, and just to get that voice out of your head that I need to go do this habit, I need to go fulfill this because I feel I have a craving in my body that I just need to go fulfill this habit. You don't need to feel like that. All you have to do is just go do something else. That's the key. It's not to sit on your butt and expect everything to change. You have to go do something else. So with that being said, I hope you guys could hear me. I'm really sorry about my neighbor with her leaf blower. What can I say? I'm not the only person in this entire world, but that wasn't going to stop me from sending this message to you guys. So I'm going to upload it. I'm going to check it out. If it didn't turn out great, I'm going to re-upload it. I'm going to reshoot the video and upload it again for you guys, because I feel like this message is very important and that it should get across to you and to my personal friend through which this video is dedicated to. So let me know what you guys think about this video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I've been making videos for every day for like the past 5 days. That's a short amount of time, but I can tell you right now, I don't plan on slowing down at all, ever. This is something that I've been called to do for my life. If you know me personally, you know, especially in the last month or two, you know how much my life has needed something like this, and how great my life has turned because of things that I'm doing like this. So with that being said, guys, I will see you guys tomorrow, and just have a great afternoon, and I can't wait to talk to you guys tomorrow.